Hey everyone, my name's Kristen and I am half of the reselling team. Voyage is a verb. My husband and I run our resale business full time together. He's actually at our warehouse shipping right now and I am making this video because I love content, so you guys tend to see my face a little bit more on the social media and video front, but you know, he's doing the operations on the back end, which is much appreciated. But today I just wanted to share with you guys kind of some thoughts around how do you in a saturated resale world, like, let's be real, resellers are coming in droves and everybody's wanting to make a quick buck off of reselling. And today I just really wanted to share with you guys, like, my perspective, if you really want to get ahead in reselling, is to really put a lot of energy and time into research. And this is especially important if you're coming into reselling with a limited brand and style knowledge. Research is going to get you up and moving quicker than anything else that you can do for yourself. So spending more time in this area is going to be key. I wanted today to share with you guys my top 5 favorite high-end websites, and all of these websites, they sell multiple brands. So it's not just like top 5 brands, it's top 5 websites that are high-end luxury sites. And basically, like, wanted to share with you guys how I approach researching through these sites. It's not just going to the brand index and memorizing the brands. There's a lot more to it. And so I really wanted to just walk you through my kind of approach to research on these websites. So let's do it. The first site that I want to start out with today is Intermix, and the website is intermixonline.com. And unlike some of these other websites, Intermix does have its own standalone brand, so it's possible you could find this in your sourcing endeavors, but don't get too swept away by a brand name. Make sure that it is in style and it's something that people are wanting to buy right now. And that's actually part of what this is helping us do today, is we're wanting to experience what is selling for full price on the sites right now, on these higher end sites. And even if we can't find these exact pieces or these exact designers where we are, it is possible that we could potentially find styles that are similar or have a similar feeling or aesthetic to them. So we're first going to look at the home pages. The home pages are always going to tell a lot about this, not only the website's aesthetic, but also what high-end clients are buying right now. And so you're seeing right now that this top takes up half the screen. There's a lot of fabric to it and there's a lot of details in it. You also notice that the backdrop of this photo is a desert scape, and that's been popular for a while, and I don't think it's going away anytime soon. And just exploring through the site is going to be your best bet. You'll notice certain things like you'll see, okay, if you love sourcing shoes, what's happening with shoes right now? You'll see colors that are coming up again and again. They're selling a full-on denim. They have a whole denim section. So even understanding what is happening in denim and exploring that will be useful to you. And I just think that the more you can explore, the more curious you get, the more you're going to get out of it. And so one other thing to note is all of these sites will have a designer list. And I very much advise you to not try to memorize the designer list. It's the reason why when people say, what should I pick up at the thrift store? It's like, well, I'd pick up any of these things at the thrift store, and I don't know them all, and don't stress yourself out if you don't either. Instead, really focus on the styles and the aesthetic of what's happening on the sites. Let's move on to the next one. The next one is going to be Shopbop.com. And Shopbop is a bit more millennial focused. It's a little bit younger and fresher, a lot more like colors you can see right away. It looks very different than the other one, but you still see a lot of fabric happening. I love the curly hair. But, you know, exploring through this, like, what are like younger people gravitating toward right now. And there will be some overlap with designers. One thing I'm noticing is that they're not really bent out of shape of like having a perfectly beautiful, like professional looking photos in a world where those are getting increasingly easier to find. Like, it's so easy to take a really nice, bright professional picture on any camera at this point on phones. And so a lot of what these brands are doing is they're
and these websites are doing is they're saying, how can we have like a more edgy feel? Like it doesn't need to be perfect. And so you see like a lot of shadows cast and things like that. You'll see that like this is like a more grainy picture. And you'll notice that I think quite a bit. Things that you're looking for on these sites, you're looking for top sellers, you're looking for things that people are actively buying full price right now. And even if you can't find these pieces, finding similar pieces will take you very far. So here are some styles that are in right now that people are spending. These are popular styles that people are spending full price to purchase and own. Square neck, smocking details, high waist, lots of fabric. And just kind of taking note of these jumpsuits are still very much in right now. And this one's even sold out. So can you even find sold out items? Like look at those sleeves. I've noticed that a lot. These big puffy sleeves, the mock neck. Look at all of these have puffy sleeves. So how can you take this information and apply this to the things that you're finding right now? Square toe, simplistic styles. They're finding ways to make white, like look at these prairie dresses, like simple styles to be really beautiful and elevated. So there's Shopbop for you. Next one we're going to do is Farfetch.com. And here's Farfetch for you. Again, even though, and sorry, this site for whatever reason doesn't allow me to share my my camera, so I'm going to close out of that. But Farfetch, again, we're seeing tons of fabric. Look, it's like dragging on the ground. There's so much fabric. Look at these sleeves. They're so extra and so over the top. But yet this is their front page image. And even if you don't have any friends who would wear this or you wouldn't wear this yourself, it doesn't mean that you can't take these styles and make them a little bit more modified for more of the average buyer. But they are trying to promote a specific aesthetic with what they're doing here. You'll see, again, it's darkened, it's grainy. It's not this like beautiful, bright, professional photo. Even look at this. This has like a Polaroid feel to it. Because in a world where everything can look professional with your camera, how do we make this interesting? And so that might be helpful for you as if you're growing if you're modeling your stuff or you're growing a social media following, or if you're like looking to kind of grow in that area, this kind of information is helpful for you just to really process and look through and see how are they doing it. Again, tons of fabric, tons of layers. That is more fabric than woman right there. Big billowy sleeves, structured shoulders, high waist. Everything will be high waist. Everything high waist. The waist is going to be high in so much of what you're seeing on these sites. And you can see, again, like this kind of grainy aesthetic. It has this kind of cool girl, I don't care if it's perfect, it doesn't matter to me kind of look to it. So there's Farfetch again, and they actually do pre-owned on Farfetch, so you can even look through their pre-owned and see what are they selling in their secondhand market. Again, it's unlikely that any of us are going to go to the thrift store and like find a treasure trove of all of these things, but you know, taking this information, putting it in your pocket for later, be super helpful. All right, next up, we're going to go to everyone's favorite, Revolve.com. Let me see if I can get my face up here again. Webcam, are you there? All right, I'm tiny on this one. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Revolve, so many people know Revolve because it is very much a millennial influencer focused brand and website. And so they carry tons of different brands on there, but in this kind of climate that's happening right now, there is an eco-consciousness to like the secondhand market and things like that. But there is also an element of people looking to buy things to wear on Instagram once. I know that sounds silly to so many people, but there are buyers who are doing that, who want to wear it to an event one time and then send it on its way into the resale market again. And so just understanding that there's an entire subculture surrounding one-time use items, even in a resale market that is more eco-conscious, is really important to know. And so Revolve is incredibly big. It's incredibly popular. A lot among this particular market is incredibly fashion forward as well. And so again, like, look, they dropped 287 new arrivals. Like, they are on the ball with these trends. And again, you can explore around their designers. This, I really love this top 20 designers. I feel like a top 20 designers is much easier to learn, even if you can pick a few designers within these top 20 designers, than it is to try to learn hundreds or thousands of high-end brands and designers. But I think that this is pretty manageable if you want to explore these different brands. I'm sure these top 20 designers are ever evolving. I'm sure they're changing all the time. And I think I do know all of these, which is exciting to me. So if I can know them all, you can know them all. If you don't know them all, go and give them a look through. One other thing to note is sale can be really useful. Not necessarily, it's kind of useful on the other end of things. So these are items that they overproduced that they have to mark down. So some items sell out and they never make it to the sale. But some items do make it to the sale, and knowing the difference between those items, are there styles that might be on their way out that are getting saturated in the market? You can even explore through and it doesn't mean, I bet all of these would sell at the right price on Poshmark. So that doesn't necessarily mean don't pick up these styles or anything like that, but just having that, I feel like there's a nuanced understanding of styles that are just barely on their way out and then styles that are coming in. And so this kind of stuff will help you differentiate between. And the last site I have to share with you guys today is Net-a-Porter. You can also pronounce it Net-a-Porter. I believe it's French, and that's the original technical way to say it, but it can be interchangeable, and I like Net-a-Porter. It's comfortable for me, so we're going to do that. So on Net-a-Porter, when you join right away, it's a huge, huge site, very, very popular with luxury buyers. And you'll notice right away that even though there's a little bit of a shift between this and let's say Revolve or Shopbop, it's a little bit more elevated and mature in its aesthetic. And one thing I'm noticing right away is that there's still some similarities. It doesn't matter. There's still some similarities. So you look at how much fabric is in this picture. Pieces with tons of fabric are very high end right now and very desired. So can you find pieces with tons of fabric that look like this that is vintage? And if you are selling or if you're marketing on Instagram, or if you're modeling your stuff, is there a way to make these pieces look even pieces with lots of fabrics look like they have even more fabric? Is there a way to make that known to your customer that they're big and they're expansive? And I think that's so cool. And you'll notice also high waist, doesn't matter what site you're on, high waist is still in. And that is going to be a constant thread no matter where you are. They're a little bit more traditional in their models. It's a little bit cleaner. Look at the background on all of these. It's just a clean white background, which is why I say if you are looking to brand yourself on Poshmark or wherever and you want to get your background right, I could not recommend a clean white background better, because there are ways that you can market yourself that does not require a fancy background. Net-a-Porter is enormous, and no one is saying to them, I don't want to shop there because your backgrounds are boring. In fact, quite the opposite. So if you don't have some fancy background for your stuff, don't sweat. Net-a-Porter is killing it, and you can too. And so if you just kind of go through here, you can again see designers. There's going to be a lot of similarities in designers across the board, but I would say I don't know most of these designers, and I'm not stressed out at the fact that I don't know it. I could use this to source online, whether on Poshmark or other platforms, just to see, can I find some of these designers? Even if I can't find them in my local thrift store, can I find them low cost elsewhere on the internet? And you would be surprised by that. So just looking around, I love any sections that are what to wear, any sections that are how we style this, lookbooks, anything like that. Think through, what do you like to sell? I think this is pretty cool. If you have a modest dress code, what are some styles that are trending for that? Sunglasses, great. I don't know what makes sunglasses so modest, but again, look at that fabric. This is so beautiful. And how can you bring styles like this to your Poshmark closet? Love this midi length, the high neck. The statement bow on the side of this is really beautiful. Take note of what you really like too. What styles are you really enjoying and which ones you that's not for me, because that is going to translate into what you end up sourcing for your closet. And it's going to either attract or detract buyers. So anyway, Again, they have all the same sections. You'll find that they have all these similar sections of lookbooks and designers and featured designers. Do you know all of their featured designers? Do you know, like, once you memorize Revolve's featured designers, can you memorize Net-a-Porter's? And even just getting those like really popular ones will really get you far. You do not need to know every single one of them, but knowing these big ones are very helpful. So with that said, thank you for joining me today. Thanks for going through some of my favorite high-end luxury websites that I like to take in just to learn, just to explore. Does not mean that I'm going to find these at the thrift store tomorrow, but I could. And it doesn't mean that I have to sell exactly what they're selling, but it does help as a reseller getting a step forward, looking into what are people buying full price right now, looking into what is coming. A lot of these sites have coming soon. A lot of these sites have areas like looking forward, like a spring summer lookbook is happening right now on all of these sites, so you can see what are people buying for the spring and summer this year, and how can you bring that to your own Poshmark closet. So I hope that these sites are something that kind of make their way into your life as you research. There are so many ways to research, but I truly love going to the source of where these brands are selling at full price. So I hope you guys have a great day. If you liked this like little fluid journey with me of exploring these different sites, please give this video a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. I want to do more YouTube in the near future, and your support is super helpful in that. So I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll talk soon.